This is going to be a quicker, shorter review than most channels out there. I know you've probably seen them elsewhere, so I don't need to do a big, long review of these. This is my collection that I've been collecting now for almost a year, and it's time to get them open and get them up on a shelf or someplace. So let's get into it. Here we have Snake Eyes. From the beginning of the Classified series, this figure was modeled after the Snake Eyes from the Snake Eyes movie, not from the actual toy line. So he's a little different. I did get a later Snake Eyes, and I'm assuming they used some of the similar parts, but we'll get into that when we unbox that one. I do enjoy the sculpt. He does have a lot of good articulation, and this katana that he has is excellent. It doesn't slot into the hole in his back very well. That's kind of a flaw here. You really have to shove it in there, and it keeps wanting to pop itself out. Partly because of his straps that he has going across his shoulders, because the pin slots through that before it goes into the hole, and it kind of wants to push it out of there. These two knives are kind of cool, but unfortunately they didn't add any sheathing or attachments to put them onto his body, so they're just an accessory that gets thrown to the side and put in a box somewhere, unless you're going to display them with those knives in hand. I don't like that they gave him a head that was without his helmet. I understand it was part of the movie, but that can go over there. I do not want it.
That's Snake Eyes.
For me, Snake Eyes is much like a luchador. You don't take your mask off. And as far as I know, he's never taken his mask off. So I have no idea what he looks like. I don't need that head sculpt. So unfortunately now that's two head sculpts that I have just kicking around. One for Storm Shadow and one for Snake Eyes. That all being said, this Snake Eyes was never going to be used in a regular display. He's going to be put together with the Storm Shadow that I repainted. They're both from the Snake Eyes movie, so I figured I'm going to do a display with the two of them in mid-battle, because this wasn't part of the regular Classified series. This was the movie version of the Classified series, which all of those toys that fell under that heading weren't that great. And this is Snake Eyes, so I figured they'd be releasing at least 40 different versions, which they already have at least 3 or 4. So keep an eye out in the near future for when I make this display with Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow battling it out. I'm going back and re-recording this part because after taking him out of the box and posing him a bit and putting him up on the turntable, I really dig this figure. I know he's a little more armored up than any of the other Snake Eyes that we've seen in the past, but damn is he cool looking. I know some of the shiny plastic is a bit weird, but as a whole, this figure is way better in hand than I thought it was going to be in the package. Looking at this through the 9-year-old me's lens, I would have done extra chores to get enough money to get this figure. This will probably be the only time that I actually pose this guy and play with him a little bit, so enjoy these turnarounds, and I'll see you in the next one.